Hello, second grade. All right, guys, so here is the deal. This is going to be our last day working with radial symmetry, and some of you are going to have the opportunity to go on and move on to the final sheet of paper. Um, but I really, really want to make sure that you understand the concept. So we're going to do a quick recap, and then you will get started. So radial symmetry is when it is the same all the way around it. So you can see, like, here's the circle. There's tiny little circles that move all the way around it. There's the circles here and here. It's the same all the way around. So if you look at this image, same thing. If you notice, the colors are all the same. The shapes are all the same. They stay the same size. They stay the same amount. Like if we were to sit here and count each one of these lines, there would be the same amount on each one of these. Same with if we counted these little lines right here. I can count them and I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it'll continue the process. So last art that I was with you, I was noticing a lot of you were making the mistake of doing a wavy line, and you would have, say, 3 curves on one and then 5 curves on the next. So if you do that, it's not radial symmetry. It becomes unbalanced. So it's really, really, really hard. But if you're one of those kiddos that I talked to you about, hey, you gotta watch that. You got like you got 5 curves here, and then you got 3 curves, then you might want to think about just sticking with some shapes. So you don't want to rush this. You really want to take your time to make sure that it's staying the same from section to section. And I know that you can do it. So first thing we're gonna do is make a circle. Next step, put our dot in the center. And all of these instructions will be at the very, very, very end. So for right now, just watch me and listen to me, and then you will have your chance. So then using our ruler, draw your line going straight down through the middle of your paper. And I forgot to put the rulers on the cart. So when this video is done, Michael, if you are present today, if you would go over to Miss Wilson's caddy and pull the rulers out, that would be awesome. Michael, if you are not there today, then Devin, will you please do it? Next, we're going to draw the ruler line through the middle. So you should have kind of a cross. Then we're going to make a line. We're going to be making an X on top, another line. And now I have like a plus with an X on top. So remember, we're going to do just only basic shapes, and I made a handout for each one of you guys to share. We're just going to stick with these shapes. So when I look at yours and when your art teacher for today looks at them, we should only see you using the basic shape. So reviewing yours last time, I noticed some of my friends put people as their stuff. I should not see people from section to section to section. I love your creativity and I love what you're thinking, but because this is our first radial piece, I want you to succeed, and because of that, we're going to stick with the very basic shapes. And if you notice on these right here and in the handout you will be receiving here in a little bit, there are no stars because I want you to just keep with the basic shapes. And you can see there's a heart, but it's upside down. So I started off with, I wanted zigzags, but I didn't put the zigzag on the list. So I thought it might make more sense to stick with an M, so that way I didn't get confused and I kept the same amount of slopes all the way around. So as I'm doing this, I'm turning my paper so that way I can stay with the same M. So if you count these, I have 1 point, 2 point, 1 point, 2 point, 1 point, 2 point, all the way around. So it's completely symmetrical. Now when you look at this though, you can see it's a little off. See how far over this is and how inward this ends? Watch that. Like, I made that mistake on accident, but that's because I wasn't staying in the same place all the way around. So like right here, I was close to the edge, but when I got to this side, something happened and I didn't stay as close to the edge. I think what that is I didn't start turning my project until I got to about, I don't know, about right here maybe. And then once I started turning it, I got this really nice progression. So if I were you, I would turn it. Next, I just did straight lines across that just connected section to section. But if you look at it, you can see how I did each one separately. This time I did kind of like a Pac-Man mouth, and I'm going to follow that process all the way around. And this time you can see I did a really good job of staying in the same area. And then last I added circles. So if I were to look at this, I know I messed up right here, but overall I did a pretty good job of showing radial symmetry. So to be a 3, it should look similar to mine, should be the same all the way around. I should not see 5 wavy lines here and 2 wavy lines here. In fact, if you look at my list I made you guys, I didn't even include wavy lines because I don't want you to have that misconception. And I don't remember for sure on the handout what I put on there, but I don't think I included wavy lines on there either. So if you want to do curves, go for it. But for today, let's stick away from the wavy lines just because I really want you to succeed. So last but not least, this is going to be where you guys start. If you would, when I'm done talking, pause the video so this image will stay up on the screen so you can remember step by step what you need to do. So for today, what you're going to do, you're going to get a new practice sheet of paper. You're going to write your name on it. You will trace the circle and follow these steps and create one mandala. Then when you are done, I want you to raise your hand and have your art teacher for today show him or her what it looks like. Then your next step is they will give you any feedback, and they're going to look for things like, do you have 3 slopes, 4 slopes? Is it consistent throughout? So they'll give you any feedback if there's any misconceptions. And then your next step is to repeat the process again on the back of your sheet of paper. So at this point, when you're done, you should all have 2 mandalas that show radial balance. If you get done with that as well, and I know some of you are going to get done, in the same tub as the paper and everything else, there's some black paper, and using a pencil, you may either use your first design that you created or your second design that you created as your final mandala. And then when I see you next art class, I will bring metallic markers with me and we will go over a pencil line. So that means whatever your first one looks like or your second one looks like, you are going to copy that first or second image onto the black paper. And if you don't get to the step, it's a-okay. Don't worry about it. So have a good day, guys. Bye.